Hello, this is Kimball Ostrom. Welcome to my channel, and today we're going to discuss about MySQL and SQL commands. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, feel free to do so, and I will appreciate. Okay. You can also leave a like. And so what I've there are like parts of these videos. The first part is the overview, which will be involving these slides that I've generated just to take us through the whole overview of MySQL and what it is, theoretically, right? Then we're going to go to the second part of it, in which it will be the practical part. That is when we are going to like type the commands, yeah, and be able to like execute it practically. Okay, so uh, in the practical part, what you need to have is MySQL in your local host if you want to follow along. Personally, I will use this XAMPP control panel because I like this because it comes with the Apache server here and the MySQL database as well. With all these other things like FileZilla and all, Mercury and Tomcat, but in this case, we're going to only use MySQL and yeah, only MySQL. So I will demonstrate on how we can use this in our local host. Yeah, later in the video. So okay, so for now, let's just go through this real quick, this overview. Okay, what is MySQL in the first place? MySQL is a relational database, and by relational database here, it means that there are tables, rows, and columns. Like each and every MySQL, each and every database, uh, especially relational databases, there has to be tables in it. So, and these tables comes with rows and columns. So, here's an example of a table with columns. The first column as the name, then the second column as the age, then the third one as the gender. So, and inside the tables there are rows. So this rows now holds the values that are stored in the database, right? For example, Kimball Abstract. For the first row, Kimball Abstract as the name, age 22, gender male, then 10 Karen as the name, age 30, female as the gender, right? So that is actually what MySQL is. So then there are in relational databases, another example apart from MySQL, there is the PostgreSQL. Okay. So this one also uses commands. So technically all relational databases use commands and they store details inside tables with rows and columns, right? Okay. So the opposite of relational databases are non-relational databases. An example of non-relational databases, there is MongoDB and Firebase database. So you find that most of these databases don't have tables. Actually, no, none has tables because they are non-relational. That means they store their, in most cases, they store their details. I mean, content in form of JSON trees. You know, yeah. So in form of JSON data structures, in form of trees where there are like the parent, the root, then there are the nodes which are maybe the child. Yeah, there's the root node, then there is the children nodes. Yeah, and when you fetch the data, you find that normally it gets retrieved in form of JSON. So you need to like convert back to text and all. Yeah. So these are the two examples. So relational databases use a structured query language, that is SQL language. This language is made of commands that are typed to perform specific tasks. For example, if you type the create command, it's going to create the database, right? If you type the drop command, it's going to delete the database and maybe a table. Okay. So about the commands we're going to discuss and do it practically later. So ensure you stick around. Then the SQL commands are in four categories, four major categories, right? There is the DDL, that is the direct definition language. Then there is data query language. Then there is DML, that is data manipulation language. Then the fourth one is data control language. So we're going to discuss each and every one. So the first one, DDL, data definition language. Data definition language actually consists of the SQL commands that can be used to define the database schema. That is how the database looks like. If you want the database to have like 5 columns, then you have to define in the data definition language. That is a most this one is the create. This one you will define how the table will look like, yeah, how the database is, yeah. So if you want to delete a database, you use the drop command. This one, the second one, then the alter. This is used to alter the structure of the database, right? You want to change the structure. Maybe initially there were 5 columns in the database, and you want to reduce them. Maybe you want to reduce them to make it 3, or maybe you want to add an extra column. You know? So you need to like alter. Maybe you want to change the type of variable of every column. Maybe it was a string in the first place, and you want to make it a number. Yeah, you need to like alter. Then truncate, this is used to remove all the records from a table, including all spaces allocated for the records are removed. Assuming maybe you have like 100 records in a database table, and you want to start afresh. You want to make the table behave as if it has been created just a second before now. So the best command is truncate. This one removes everything. It refreshes the table, makes it seem like it's new. Okay. Okay. Then to the second category, there is a DQL. There is a data query language. Data query statements are used to perform queries on the data within schema objects. We can define DQL as follows. It's a component of a SQL statement that allows getting data from the database and imposing orders upon it. So this one has mainly one command, that is the select command. So it's like you're fetching, you're querying, you're actually retrieving the data that is in the database. Yeah, and the select command comes with ways in which you could retrieve. For example, you can say select all from maybe database A, where maybe age equals to 22. That means it will retrieve all the records in which the age is 22 in the database. Okay, so like the select command, you're able to like define how the records are getting retrieved from the database, right? Yeah. Then DML, that is the data manipulation language. SQL commands that deals. This one is SQL commands that deals with the manipulation of data present in the database. You're manipulating the data in the database. Example is insert. This one is used to insert data into a table. Then there is update. It's used to update existing data in a table, assuming your age, maybe the age of a specific record in the database was 22, right? And you want to change it to 30. So you use update command. Then there's delete. Delete is to actually remove records from the database table. All right. Okay. Then the fourth category is DCL. That's the data control language. Data control language includes commands such as grant and revoke, which mainly deals with the rights permissions of the database system, right? So you want to maybe grant a user, you want to uh, revoke a user's permission and privileges. For those who have done hosting, if you have hosted a site before, you find that in the cPanel, uh, maybe MySQL section, you find that there is this, you're able to like set the privileges for a specific user so that a specific user can be able to access the database and maybe protect the database from other users to access. You can actually control the privileges that each and every user can have. And you can also create many users for that specific database as well. So that's what we are going to see. Okay. So in this section, we're going to start with data definition languages. That is the first category, which involves create, drop, alter, and truncate. Okay. So the first thing is to start the server. I'm going to start with Apache, then on MySQL, right? So when you click on admin, it will start launching in the server. I mean in the browser. That is where now you will get your PHP with MySQL in it. Okay. So as you can see, I have a lot of databases. I've been using this a lot of times. In most cases, it's actually popular. It's a good tool for me. Okay. So we're going to start with create command. So when you want to type the command, you just come to SQL here. So we want to create a database first, right? So you type create database. Let's say there is a Sql. Okay, Sql. Yeah, it's a Sql database with many departments in it. Yeah. So create database Sql. Then you click on go. That is you are executing the command. Yep. So as you can see here, the database is already created. It's just that simple. Okay. So just create database Sql and yeah, yeah, and it's created. So let's create a table now in the database. First of all, you need to like click the database first. Yeah. So technically, PHP can offer you an interface to create without using commands, but now that this is a MySQL tutorial, we're going to use commands. So we're going to create with commands. Yeah. Create, create table, maybe yeah, accounting department, right? Accounting. Yeah, accounting. Then maybe the first column will be ID with integer of maybe 11 values. Then this one is the primary key, right? Primary key, auto increment. So this is how you do it. Auto increment, that means as soon as you keep adding, I mean, as you keep adding records into the database, into this table specifically, the ID keeps on incrementing, right? So yeah, it will go to from 1 to infinity. And it's also a primary key. That means this ID cannot be equal with another ID of a different record in the table. So it will actually be a unique key. So this one can be calculated, but it's not necessarily because it's not case sensitive, right? So then maybe the first one is the first column of an accounting. Maybe name, and that is varchar of may, let's say 20, right? So varchar, that means it's a combination, can be combination of numbers and letters and maybe symbols, right? Yeah, but this one integer, that means they're strictly int characters. I mean int numbers, like numbers specifically 1 to infinity. So yeah, amount, yeah, amount maybe, yeah, let's use age. This one can also be varchar of up to 10. Yeah, so yeah, this one is the full command of the uh, of the table. This one should be able to like create our table, right? So if I click go, I expect our table to be created. So when we click on accounting now here, we'll be able to like see the structure. There is ID, name, age, and this one is auto increment, right? Okay, so uh, so that is our create command. We create a different table first so that we can like drop that table. Okay, okay, or maybe I can just drop it, then I will create later. Drop accounting. Drop accounting. I think so. Yeah, you can see there is a pop-up. Do you really want to draw to execute drop table accounting? I said yes. Okay. Then yeah, right now we don't have table because we've already dropped our table. So this command is what he will delete the table totally from the database. I mean, yeah. So maybe we can go to again getting our table because we're going to need it to use these uh, other commands. Okay. So create. Let me type really quick. All right, our next command is truncate. And for you to truncate, you need to like have a record inside the table first. So I'm just going to insert records manually. I will show you, still you can insert using commands, but I will show that later on in the video. But so right now I'm just going to insert manually, right? Okay, so I'm gonna come here, click on insert, then this one should be auto incremented. Name Kimboy, then age of 10, right? Okay, that's too young. I'm going to put it 20. Okay. When you click on OK, the command comes in. We'll still go through this next in the insert command, but let's just insert for us to truncate. Okay. So I'm just going to copy this, then I will edit real quick. Okay, so there is one row already inserted. I can redo again. Okay, yeah. So when I try to browse, you can see there are like 3 records that have been inserted already in the database, right? So if you want to truncate now, you have to type the truncate command and that will erase everything. Everything will start from 0. Okay, so you can just type truncate table accounting. Yeah, you can see, yeah, click on OK, and then boom, everything will be gone. So if you try to select, I mean, to see if there is something in the database, there won't be because you've actually deleted it. So yeah, that is truncate. Assuming you have a table with 3 records. Okay, you want to now add another column apart from these 3 columns. That is the ID, name, age. you want to add an extra column. So you are going to use alter command, right? So this is another command, alter, alter table accounting, add, use add. This one is going to add a different, a new column to the table. So maybe uh, hobby, hobby, hobby varchar of 10, maybe 20. Yeah, let's put it 20. Okay. Okay, maybe you can add as well another column, maybe class, you know, class. This one can be a number 3. Yeah, that is it. So we expect now two columns to be added. That is the hobby and the class, right? So let me try to click and see what happens. Okay. Okay. Your finary new skill syntax checks manual. Okay. Data type. Okay, let me try to put this to int. See again what happens. Yeah, I think the data type was an issue there, but so when we try to browse this, you can see there is the hobby and the class is been added. Okay, so you can also use the alter command to remove the columns, assuming you want to uh, remove the one that we just added, the hobby and the class. You want to remove those, so and say alter table accounting drop. Okay, you wanna drop column hobby. Okay, let me and class, right? I don't know if this will work, but okay, let's remove one by one. Okay, so you wanna drop column hobby, and when you browse it, the hobby is gone. There is class. You wanna remove again class using the same procedure, right? Alter table accounting drop column. Yeah, if you do that, yeah, that record is going to get dropped. So our next command is select. Okay, in the accounting table, I've inserted three records. The first one is as the name Kimboy. The second one as the name Kips, then Karen. So assuming you want to select, assuming there are millions of records, right? And you want to select one specific record with the name Karen, right? So how are you going to do that with commands? So you need to like select, use select, all right? So if you say select all from accounting, you will get everything from the table, right? That's what is going to be displayed. But if you say select all from accounting, where you become now specific, where name equals current. So you'll now get the record with the name Karen, and that is it. So if you try to execute it, yeah, you can see only one record now, which whose ID is 3, is getting displayed. Yeah, it is that simple. So the point is, the where is what you need to select. So if I now write maybe when name equals to Karen and age equals 50, a record with the name Karen and age of 50 is going to be displayed. So in case there is the name Karen with age which is not 50, then it won't be displayed. Okay, we've seen earlier that there is a record by the name Karen. So let me change that to 5, and then we'll see if there is a record. We expect nothing to be displayed because there is no Karen with age 5 in the record. You can see there is an empty result here. So because there is no that record which fulfills those conditions, which is which is written after the work. Okay, so unless categories fulfill some specific conditions, that's when now they are displayed. To see the structure, you see there is a name and age. This one, no need of adding it, no need of defining the value because it will auto increment immediately. Okay, so here we just insert into accounting, a name, then age. These are the fields of the table, the column names, right? Then there was name and age. So you're inserting values. Which values? The values needs to be put in quotations. So the first name is, maybe you wanna add Chiri, something like that. Then age, maybe she's 100. Yeah, so that is how you actually do it. You add a record that way. So when you execute on go, it will insert the record. And if you want to see, you can click on browse. Yeah, and you can see right here there is Girian 100. So that is how to insert records into a database. Then there is now the update. So assuming you want to update this record, Jiri, right? You want to update, you want to change the name from, maybe you want to change the age from 100 to maybe 30, right? So you need to use the update command, update accounting, set age be equals to 30, 30, where then you add the where condition to specify on which record to be updated. After the where, that is where now you input the condition that will be checked, that will be referenced in the database to see if it uh, satisfies it. Where name equals GD, right? So this command will select a record whose name is Jiri and sets the age to 30, So if you try to execute it, yeah, you can see there is one row affected. And if you try to browse again, yeah, the record has been changed from 100 to 30. Okay, so then there is a delete command. Delete command actually removes a record from the database. Okay, so if you come to browse, you can see that our ID is for the final record is 4. So you want to remove that record based on the ID, right? So you can say delete from accounting where ID equals 4. I don't know if we need to put quotations, okay, but let me try that. Yeah, do you really want to execute delete from accounting where ID is 4? Say okay, then you browse again. You can see that the record has been removed. So so those are the three commands in part 3 for these data manipulation languages. So you will keep manipulating using these three commands. So the final category is DCL, that is data control languages. This one includes commands like grandson, revoke. This one is technically used to to change the privileges. Okay, so I'm just going to Google that. Um, Grant. Let's do a command. So if you want to do that, um, you can use this command: grant all privileges on database on the name. This is the database name. Then to username. Then at username at the username now. I mean, username at localhost. I mean, at your server, if your server is localhost, you're going to use your localhost. But if it's hosted, you're going to write that particular uh, host name. Okay, that's how you use will grant privileges. You can also revoke. Okay, you can use the revoke statement to uh, revoke administrative rights. Okay, let me try to open that. Yeah, these are just the commands that you can type. Yeah, this is the you can always Google that. Okay, I just don't want to demonstrate that right now. So guys, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe to my channel as well. I'll be dropping, and I will appreciate. Okay, thank you.